Hi. Welcome back. My name is Megan and I am going to do a little check-in. But first I want to talk about a little divine counterparts check-in. Pisces season has really made me in the clouds. Like, I have been very just like, and I really enjoy it. I have a lot of Pisces in my chart, Pisces Venus, Pisces rising. Like, I really enjoy it. But yeah, it actually kind of leads into what I wanted to talk about with the energies that I see going on right now between the divine masculines and the divine feminines is there's this energy of, well, I've heard some people talk about it as like a role reversal, and I don't necessarily want to use that term to describe it. But what I'm seeing is, for the divine feminines, we have really been working on inner union for ourselves. And what that has required is that has required us to fully embrace our divine masculine within, as well as our divine feminine. And both of those being very healthy and strong, and not from a place of distortion. And I use that word a lot, but it's the best word I can think of to kind of explain, like, when we're coming from an unhealthy feminine, we don't have boundaries. We are self-sacrificing. We are giving too much. We are hiding ourselves and our light from the world. You know, we may be giving, but not really, but giving and then having resentment around not receiving. Yeah, so those are some kind of like distorted divine feminine, and there's many more. And then divine masculine distortion is really what we see kind of in the world. Like, when you hear people talk about like patriarchy and all this stuff, it's like that. It's this like, you know, control and need to make things happen and push, and not tuning into your inner guidance, not tuning into the divine to be guided on where to make moves and how to create in the world. It's really creating from an empty vessel. It's like creating without being in alignment. And then that can really get dark, as we see in the world. That can really go to a dark place if we're not careful. And just kind of that force that really like, you must do this, and self-deprecation, or just kind of being hard on yourself. That's a big one with the inner masculine, is like, when that's distorted, is just like, push through, do it, and but you have nothing more to give, and then you feel like it's the shoulds. It's the obligation. It's like, I should do this, so I'm going to go do it. Whereas spirit really wants us to not be coming from a should, because then we're not in full alignment, and then we're not going to get the results that we actually desire. I experiment with that a lot in my business, where, I have these shoulds. I should write a newsletter. I should, come out with a new course. I should film a YouTube today. I should do this. And then there is a fine line, and I feel like when you are in inner balance, when it's your feminine being distorted and wanting to hide herself, and when it's your masculine pushing forward, when you actually really do need to rest and not follow with that should. So I hope that's making sense. It's kind of like all these principles have to really be online, and we can apply this to everything, not just our twin flame journey, right? Like, I apply these principles to business a lot, where it's like, if my feminine and my masculine are communicating and they're in harmony with one another, then I know my energy is balanced. So any outward physical sort of doing thing that I end up doing for my business, it's going to provide results because I'm in alignment, versus when I am doing a thing because I think I need to, and it's with that imbalance around giving to get, basically. Yeah, so it's like that expectation of like, oh, if I do this, then I'm going to get this. But that's putting control and expectation, and it's like results driven versus intention, spirit driven. And when we are intention driven and spirit driven, things just happen. And I'm sure you've experienced that, like beautiful miracles, blessings, abundance, things just kind of flow. And that's what we're trying to get to. So this was a very long-winded way of explaining it. However, I feel like I just wanted to be really clear on what those principles are that I'm talking about when I talk about the divine masculine and feminine within. And all these readings that I do, by the way, if you're not someone that's met your counterpart yet, or even even still, like if you're really in that process of doing the work yourself, when we're talking about the divine masculine and we're checking in with their energies, that can be your divine masculine within. Just like when we're talking about the divine feminine, that's your divine feminine within. So relate it how it makes sense for you, of course. And sometimes in a read, it's really going to feel like, oh, this is not my divine masculine within. This is my divine masculine, the soul, the person, the being, right? And so that works too. But back to the energies, what I'm feeling in the feminine have been doing a lot of this balancing within of these energies, and the masculines have been following. They've been doing it as well. And it may have felt like for a while they weren't doing it at all, or it was like we were way ahead of them, and it was like, there was kind of this frustration in that for a minute. At least that's how I felt, and I could feel that energy in the collective. But we've come to this point where the feminine really feels in union, really feels that union. And there may still be work that they're working on, that they're doing in order to really be ready to ground it in the 3D. Totally. Like that's absolutely true. However, because of this, and because the masculines are doing that same thing, and they've been working through their feminine, they've been working through their masculine, their energy is rising, their kundalini is rising, their power is rising. They are stepping into this emperor energy, and I can really, really feel that in the collective, where these masculines maybe were in distorted masculine for a while, and maybe they hadn't felt their emotions, or they hadn't worked through some of these feminine energies within. But they've been doing that, and so they're getting stronger. And now what's happening is the feminines, because of this, we're being invited to fully embody the feminine in a way that I don't feel like we've fully been able to do before. And I think Pisces energy is really like bringing this in, because Pisces is a very feminine energy. Pisces is almost like the feminine archetype. If I were to, in astrology of all the signs, I would say Pisces is a big one. I mean, there may be a couple, Cancer, whatever, but it's a big one. And so it's allowing the feminines to be able to step fully into their feminine energy. And when we do come into this union, it is this beautiful counterbalance of these counterparts where one is holding the divine masculine and one is holding the divine feminine. And it doesn't mean that you don't have divine masculine or divine feminine within you if you're holding the other one stronger. It means you're able to fully be the divine feminine because your divine masculine within is so strong and solid, and your divine masculine without is so strong and solid. And the same thing for them, where their feminine within is really balanced, so they're able to hold the boundaries of the masculine. They're able to hold that for your partnership, for your union. And I'm feeling that already occurring. And I know some of you are in union, you're coming into that phase. I know some of you are in communication, you're coming into that phase, but feeling it overall for the collective is really exciting, because I've personally just been feeling myself gravitating towards all the things that make me feel like Empress energy, all the things. And for the past couple weeks, I have felt very masculine. I felt very embodied in those, because I feel like I was healing and integrating those principles and really working through those in a way that I hadn't previously, because I was working through all that distortion to kind of clear and heal that. And I think a lot of us feminines were doing that. And now I'm very in the feminine, and I'm so in the feminine that I have to really kind of push myself a little bit to do the things that are more masculine now. Yeah. And I feel like it's because we've kind of, the role reversal thing I was speaking about, we've kind of balanced ourselves out, and it's feeling very like harmonized. I'm feeling a lot of harmony in the energy. And again, we are speaking in the energy, right? And so we're speaking in more like the 5D versus what's happening in the 3D. So, sometimes it can be hard because you're like, well, in the 3D, nothing's happening. I'm not in union. We're not talking. But it's like, just know that this is kind of what's going on. and ride the waves of this and trust that it's coming, especially because we're seeing it in the energy. And so if you as a divine feminine are really stepping into your ability to receive, you're letting go of control, you're letting go of chasing, you're letting go of the need to know, and you're really just connected with that inner stillness, that inner presence, and that just spirit. Really, that's what it is. It's like you're connected to that, and it's a trust of God. It's like really trusting that it's safe for me to be in my feminine. It's safe for me to trust. It's safe for me to feel. It's safe for me to feel. And Pisces wants to feel. Pisces wants to love and be loved. And so I felt that energy come online in this collective. And we're talking about feminines who have been hurt deeply. You know, both of these counterparts have been deeply, deeply hurt by one another and by the world. But for us to be kind of stepping into this space of being like, I'm ready to love, I'm ready to forgive, and I'm ready to receive, that's a big turning point in this collective, I would say. That is a big, big turning point, because it also lets us know that our masculines are doing the same, that they are really stepping into forgiving themselves, forgiving others, wanting to love and be loved, because now they're able to step into a fully integrated masculine that enables you and invites you energetically to step into this feminine. So I'd be really curious to hear if you guys have been feeling that already. I would love to know. So let me know in the comments if you've been feeling yourself kind of just naturally, like if you're a divine feminine, if you've just naturally been kind of maybe gravitating towards beautifying your life, adornment, wanting to like, you know, like just sensuality, making art. Maybe you've had to push yourself a little bit more to do the more masculine type to do things, you know, like sometimes for me, just stepping out of the 5D and coming into the 3D and you know, like letting myself be seen. So running my business, doing these videos, things like this can feel a little bit more masculine. So my guides really have to like push me on it a little bit more when I'm really embodying the feminine, because I kind of just want to live in like the ethereal void space of the 5D. So I'd be really curious to hear if you guys have been feeling that at all and how that's been showing up for you. But yeah, we'll get into the read. I just wanted to kind of share the feelings that I've been getting in the energies lately. So okay, yeah, all right. So calling on spirit, angels, ancestors, galactic family, beings of light assisting in these twin flame collectives that would like to be present to help me channel in truth and light. Let's start with the masculines. I want to know, well, that literally just flipped. We're going to put it back. I want to know where the headspace is for the masculines. Oh, we have a couple flipped cards, I just realized. Love to know a little bit about where their headspace has been. Spirit, can you tell us anything? Headspace for the masculines right now. Wow, okay. I kind of had a wow, and that card flipped back out, so we're taking it. And I had a feeling that I wanted to see. Okay, so we have headspace. We have a couple cards that fell out. I didn't necessarily want this many cards because I'm gonna try and get to quite a bit today. So I'm just gonna briefly chat about them. 9 of Swords, headspace, yeah. Some anxiety, some fear, worry. And again, I think this is really, this bottom of the deck, we have Knight of Swords. So they're wanting to charge forward with this truth, with all that they've learned, with this knowledge, with this new insight, this new understanding. They know that to have this new beginning that is represented in Knight, that they have to come correct. They have to come in truth and wholeness. And so there's anxiety about, am I ready? Can I do this? And Spirit's working with them on it. And the Wheel of Fortune is the card that popped out right away. And then I shuffled again and it came out again. So there is this idea about divine timing. And I do feel that there's an anxiety that they're feeling like time is slipping away. Okay, so there is a little bit of a fear, like they know this is a golden opportunity. They know that this is being offered, and they are getting a little afraid that if they don't act soon, they're gonna miss it. Yeah, there's some fear, but then they're also really questioning, am I ready? High Priestess. So High Priestess in this pull right now, I'm feeling is Spirit, the divine, working with them. They're getting these messages. They know what they need to do. They're very connected. They're very, very connected, but it's almost like some of the messaging that they're getting is a little bit it's causing the anxiety, because you know what it is. It's I kind of touched on this, but it's when you know you need to do something, like I was saying, when I know I need to go on and I need to do something for my business, and I just don't really want to, like I kind of just want to like not and Spirit's giving you almost anxiety, because it's like, you know, I was told by my guides quite a while ago, they were like, the reason that you have anxiety is like, what if you could look at anxiety as a gift? What if you could look at it as it's the thing that actually moves you? It's the thing that will actually move you forward, especially as someone who is a feminine. You know, but anxiety, if we look at it in a different way, we can really embrace it and be grateful for, oh, that's just a little you know, it's just moving me forward. It's just a little thing that's going to keep tapping, and the tap might get stronger and stronger if I don't move. So I need to make some moves. So I feel that this is what's occurring with them, with their guides right now. Their guides are really like, yeah, you're ready, and the more that you sit and wait on this, the more anxiety you're going to feel. You're only going to feel more. It's not going to get easier. It's going to get stronger. So they know this, and that's why there's this sense of time, like this clock. I actually am seeing like a clock that's stressing them out. It's almost like they are like in a room. They are like, you know, not able to sleep at night, and they can just hear the clock ticking. They can just see this clock moving, and Spirit being like, we love you, you got it, you're good, you're gonna be okay. And they're just, yeah, because we have Queen of Pentacles. So this is they're seeing you as their gift. In this, gotta glare, they're seeing you as their divine feminine, as their counterpart, as their person, as this magical union from Spirit. And in the Pentacles, it's like the person to build in this material world with. They know that they need to be in this Princess of Cups energy. They know that they need to share their heart. They know, and that's the thing that's really scary for them. And also, Princess is the page, and it's that anxiety of like, am I ready? Can I do this? Am I going to say the wrong thing? What if it's not good enough? What if I don't? Because there also is this awareness of your mastery, divine feminines, that you have stepped into such mastery, especially in the heart space, and they don't want to get it wrong, and they don't want to feel this unequal balance within, like they can't meet you with what you're giving. And again, because we're checking into the headspace, this is all in their head. This is not real. When they surrender and they drop in and they work and they move with Spirit, just like what I was saying earlier, when they're moving with Spirit and they're moving divinely, they don't have anything to worry about. There's no fear. There's you know, or there is going to be fear, but there's no reason for them to fear, because everything that they say is divinely guided. But this Five of Wands, I'm feeling it's this inner competitive feeling within themselves of getting it right, getting it wrong. Like I on guard, defensive, worry, just kind of, it feels like a very constricted energy. It doesn't feel like a very open, free energy. And they really need to get to that place of being very open in order to do this. But again, they have this anxiety of these two energies really pushing them forward. Like it's really time. So let's check in with their heart space. That was our head space. So where's the divine masculine's heart space? Let's grab this card down here that fell. Okay. space, heart space. We have the Seven of Pentacles coming up. Four of Wands. Okay, quite a few. Let's see if we have a story. Okay, yeah, so Seven of Pentacles, I'm really feeling with the Seven of Pentacles, it's that feeling of planting the seeds, and in the material world, like it's a slow moving energy, and it's an energy of, it's like the cake isn't done yet, it's not baked yet. That's how they're feeling in their heart space. That's their like heart. And what's interesting about both of these, mind and heart, those aren't real. They're not fact. Your thoughts are not fact, and your heart is not fact, right? It's the things that we can kind of get tripped up on, though. And so it's just a check-in that we're doing, but I feel that they're really feeling like they're not quite fully baked. They're not quite fully ready to come out of the oven, but this is what they're building towards. This is what they're serious about. This is what they're working towards, but there's something stopping them. And I think it's because once they come into this union, once they come and approach you, they know there's no going back. They know this is like a turning point. This is a turning point, Divine Feminine. We all know this is a huge turning point. Things will not be the same. It will be very, very different. When we claim these unions publicly and in the physical, that's a really intense energy. Even just saying it out loud like that and thinking about it, it's like claiming this person, claiming this union, saying this is mine, this is who you are on mission now. And then there's no hiding, there's no escaping the work. I mean, I'm sure like you'll be able to have days of hiding, but then you'll have not only God, but this partner, this person that you're walking this path with, holding you accountable. And I'm feeling some fear in that from them, that there's a fear around the deception, there's a fear around the lies, there's a fear around speaking these out loud. Okay, so they've been working through this energy, this Five of Pentacles and this Seven of Swords, and they've been feeling all the pain of this, all the like embarrassment, shame, guilt, uncomfortable, just like really not good feelings, and they've been sitting with it. And Spirit is telling them, we need to clear it. We need to move forward. We have to acknowledge it in order to do that. So there has to be conversation, there has to be communication to acknowledge this. But there is a lot of hesitation, because it's almost like once they speak it out loud, it's real. It's really real then. It's kind of like, as I just said what I was saying about this, and I heard it and I was like, whoa, coming into union is so intense. Because it's intense. So it's like, they're like, okay, it's intense. So I feel that and there's a fear of, and again, there may not be rational fears or feelings. They're not grounded in divinity or truth or what Spirit is telling them or what you know to be true, Divine Feminine, from your connection to Spirit. But there is a concern that it's too late, that they've done too much damage here, and that if they come forward and they share their heart in a way that is so scary, like they've never done before, that they will be left out in the cold then. That you will be like, it's too late, you waited too long, too much damage has been done. I've found myself now. I'm strong, I'm powerful, because they know that, they sense that, and that you're like, there's nothing here for me anymore. Obviously, saying it out loud and hearing it, you know that's not true. You know that's not true. And even if you have had conversations with your counterpart, your masculine, around this journey where you're like, I know who you are, I know what we are, this is how I feel, and depending on however they felt about it. So even if they have this awareness of the twin flame journey, and they know it's a fear, it's an emotional feeling, and it's fear. So it's this combination of the headspace and the heart space. And we know that our fears are not rational. We know that the ones that you have, they're not rational. Right? So it's really this like push-pull on that. We also have in the heart space the Queen of Cups, and we have the Ten of Cups. So there is like this Pisces energy. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of feeling. There's a lot of feeling this pull, feeling this desire to love and be loved. It's like it's romance, it's emotional fulfillment, it's feeling good, it's wanting to nurture and care. Yeah, I keep getting, they're like, can we just skip to this? Can we just skip to this? Like, we don't need to talk about this, right? We can just get to this, right? But they know they can't do that. And it's almost like once they get to the place of being able to be like, let's do this, let's rip this band-aid off, let's talk about this, that's when Spirit's going to be able to gift them this. And you too, Divine Feminine, because there may be fear for you around this. There may be fear, and your fears could be something else. We'll check in with you in a minute, but your fears could be around something else. But I do feel like I just keep hearing them. They're like, we just want to skip to this. So they really are in discomfort right now. They really are in pain, because just like you and just like what we've been feeling as the Divine Feminines is like, we feel it's really close. They can almost feel your touch. They can almost feel you lying next to them. They can feel what it's going to feel like to hold you and embrace you with all this love that they've uncovered, that they've unleashed by doing this inner feminine work and accessing their heart. So they're so in this space now, but there's all this that has to be dealt with, and they just want to skip it. They just want to skip it. And it's a page energy, right? It's young. It's not quite fully matured yet. It's like little kids when they get hurt, or they have a little temper tantrum, they don't really want to spend much time staying in that energy. Once they felt it, they're like, okay, it's done, let's move on. But in order to have this foundation and to step into their full embodied divine masculine and power for this Four of Wands, for this foundation, right? And a foundation for celebration. They know that it's something that has to be acknowledged. So let's be patient with them. Let's send them our love and energy. And if you feel the call to communicate with them in 5D, maybe communicating to your guides to send to their guides. Maybe you work with their higher self as one of your guides. I know one of my guides I've had my entire life is actually my masculine's higher self. And I think that's fairly common for twin flames. So maybe communicating some like unconditional love, power, like you got this, like, and obviously they still have to work through this on their own. They have to mature. They have to get out of that page energy. They have to have that bravery with these energies. They have to be able to just be like, no, this is going to feel really good. Like it's when that switch happens, which actually enables you to act in whatever the thing is that you're having hesitation around. So they haven't gotten there yet. But once they get there, it's on. Okay. I'd like to do the same thing. I'd like to check in with the feminines, the beautiful feminines. So let's check in with the feminines headspace, Spirit. Tell us what you can about these beautiful feminines. I really like the card that came out. Let's see what else. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, girls, boys. Yeah, we're only going to take that top card. Okay. Page of Inspiration on the bottom of the deck, and this is the Wands. So Page of Wands. Passion. Yeah, lots of passion. Lots of fire energy. Lots of like, let's do this. We may not know what's going to happen yet. We may be in page energy. We may not have all the answers. We may not know how we're going to ground this in the 3D, but let's go masculines. That's the energy. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, so where do I want to start? The first card that came out, we actually have the 10 of Materials, and the 10 of Materials in this deck is the 10 of Pentacles. So in the headspace, we're really thinking about this future, this legacy. I feel that most of you, or some of you, are visualizing. You're visualizing, you're feeling, you're creating, you're really staying in this feeling of the light around what you're going to create versus getting into like the head of like what's actually happening. So that's a beautiful energy. Stay with that, divine feminines. So this wish fulfillment, yeah, we have the 9 of Cups. These energies, like what are you creating? What are you calling into the material 3D world? So using the heart space, using the imagination, using your feelings to ground the physical. This is great. Keep this up. This energy, I mean, if nothing else, this will pass the time more enjoyably while we wait for our masculines, yeah? And then, you know, keep doing our work, of course. I always want to say that because I think on this journey it can feel a little bit, I mean, I do this all the time. I all the time I'm like, oh, I wish he would just get it together. But then I'm like, wait, no. Don't do that. Like I have to catch myself because it's like, no, it's a journey together. Like there are still things coming up for me, and even if I can't see them in this moment, maybe later tonight I'm gonna have another healing opportunity and a purging and, you know, more stuff to heal. So, but just staying in this energy and holding this is going to make it a lot more enjoyable. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, also in Headspace we have the Hanged Woman. It's actually the Hanged Muse, but it is a woman. I heard someone talking to me when this card first came out. What was it? I think it was around this same idea of what I was just talking about. Like, it's like waiting for the masculines. So feeling, yeah, this is an interesting one because we can go into the distortion of this really, really quickly, which is kind of what I was just touching on. So yes, we are being asked to surrender, to wait, and to open ourselves up to receive. So we are not in control of when this happens, when this comes in. Yes, that's very true, okay? That's very true. But it's also not about letting ourselves go into frustration. And we didn't actually get this card, but in the 8 of Swords energy of like, I can't move, I'm not empowered, I'm just waiting, I'm stuck. Because it can be very victim energy. It's very like disempowered. It's very, you know, so we have to be really careful. So I feel like Spirit's almost warning us with this. It's like, Spirit's like, I see you, your frustration, we know what you want, it's coming. We keep sending you signs. We're letting you know. I don't know how many more ways to tell you and to share with you that it's coming, but trust me, it's coming. And I need you, or we, not that they don't need us to do anything, but we're inviting you into this initiation, this lesson around enjoyment and pleasure while you wait. And it's that Empress energy. And it's kind of what I was speaking to at the very beginning with the Pisces season. And just how can you get into your deepest, most feel-good state? How can you get into that? How can we just feel good while we wait? And how can we change our relationship to waiting? Yeah, so what if this hanged woman, this hanged muse energy is just such a gift? It's a divine pause. It's a gift. And I think this theme has definitely come up in other videos I've done, but it's really like it's like we're being hit over the head with it right now. And I think it's because we all really need to hear this, and we probably need to hear this over and over and over and over again. Because I don't know if you're anything like me, I can get really inspired. I can feel really good. Maybe I got to chat with one of my divine feminine friends. Maybe I watched a wonderful channeler and tarot reading. Maybe I, just checked in myself and had beautiful downloads or had a wonderful meditation and I'm feeling so good. And then, a couple hours later, my ego, pipes up and is like, well, actually, you need to be frustrated because things are moving too slow and blah, 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 and like all that energy, right? So it's just, we are works in progress. We are never going to be perfect. And I do feel like for the divine feminines, more often than not, it's important to give ourselves grace and appreciation for the work that we've done and how far we've come, and that we're doing better than we think. I know sometimes I can very much get into, oh, I need to do more. I need to do more. Okay, I didn't actually get out into nature today. Okay, that. Okay, okay. Oh, I didn't do energy work today. Oh, okay, shoot. Okay, but I need to do yoga too. Oh, but I also need to make a YouTube video. And like all this stuff. And it can get very, very like, what if you're doing enough? What if you being and you trusting and you looking for the gift in every moment is enough? And if you're guided to do all those things I just mentioned, beautiful. But if you're getting into that push, control, like the distorted masculine around it, let it go and see what happens. It's kind of how I felt yesterday. This is going to be a longer video, but it's kind of how I felt yesterday. I was very much in this I needed to update my socials. I needed to post. I needed to create content. And I was in this, and I took a step back and I was like, my channel is actually not even clear right now. I'm not getting those clear messages that I feel Spirit is saying, go share this. I wasn't getting it, but I felt like I needed to say something. I needed to do something. And I had to stop myself, and it was very uncomfortable because there was a part of me that really felt like I needed to go do this thing. And Spirit was like, we need you to sit down. We need you to rest. And we need you to not give yourself a hard time that you didn't get out into nature today, that you didn't. And so it was a big lesson for me that I'm going to have to relearn over and over again, I'm sure. And I'm sharing this because I feel that for the Divine Feminines, this is a common theme and someone out there needs to hear this. But you're doing enough. You are doing enough. It's not about what you're doing either. It's really about who you're being and stepping into this wholeness and really embracing the higher sort of ways of being around this Pisces energy is really going to benefit us. It's really going to make this time fly by. It's going to make us feel really good. We're going to just be so whole. We're going to be that light for our masculines because we're just going to be shining so bright. And before we know it, it's going to just be like bang, it's just going to be here. So that was a really, really long-winded channel of this card, but it's like there was a lot coming on with this card when it came out. It's almost like I heard the collective of all the Divine Feminine's frustration in my head for a second. It was really funny, actually. So it's Spirit just giving us a gentle little nudge. We're doing enough. We're just fine. We're right on time. Find the gift, find the enjoyment, beautify your life, and it'll be here before you know it, okay? And when you get frustrated, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up if you get frustrated. Yeah, allow yourself to feel the emotions and then go underneath the emotions to find out what the source of them is, like where they're coming from. I live with a little puppy, so sorry. 10 of Swords, which in this deck is the 10 of Voices. So I don't think we need to touch on this too much because we're pretty aware after what we just went into that there's a lot here. So 10s is a completion of a cycle though, and it is a new beginning. So we are putting away this feeling of being totally trampled by this relationship, by love, by this journey. We are letting go of that victim. We are letting go of that feeling powerless and defeated and just hurt. We're letting go of all that, and we're stepping into our divinity and our light. And it's a headspace thing, which Swords is definitely speaking to the headspace. So, okay, yeah, that's all that's coming through in that because we went on for a while with some of this other. Okay, actually, no, put those back in. All right, so let's check in with the heart space for the Divine Feminines. Bottom of the deck, Strength. Our hearts are strong. Our hearts are strong. This process makes you strong. So we have Knight of Pentacles. We have 3 of Pentacles. And then we have 8 of Cups. In the heart space. Yeah, so Knight of Pentacles, again, it's a slower moving knight, but it is a knight. So there is this, having so much pentacles in this pull is really like, in our heart space, we're ready for this in the 3D. We're ready for what's coming. We're ready. We're building our legacy is what I just heard with this. So this could speak to the things you're doing in your life. This is your, whatever your mission work is, whether that is something that you actually make your money doing or not, it doesn't matter, but it's like really building your legacy and preparing. I feel that with this night too, we know this new beginning is right around the corner. We know it's coming. So we're really building in our material world. We're creating the space. We are making sure we're ready. What loose ends do we need to tie up? What still needs to go? What do we need to walk away from? What people, places, patterns, things, situations are we needing to let go of? And this has been a huge one for the divine feminines. I mean, for the masculines too, but we're really focusing on the feminines at this moment. And there's been a lot of endings. There's been a lot of things that have needed to be let go of and needed to end in relationships, and so some of us divine feminines can look around right now and feel very like empty, like, and not in a bad way, not in like an emptiness way, but like my space is pretty clear. Like, it's pretty clear, and there could be some kind of longing or desire for, okay, spirit, come fill it up. Come fill it up. But just like we're learning with our twin flames is like, we don't get to decide when that happens. We don't get to be in control of when do the blessings come, when does the new come in. So we're just being asked to trust, to really create the space, do the work with our team, work with our guides on what we're being guided to do, what we're being guided to walk away from. And then even if you're sitting there in like, I'm seeing like an empty room, you're sitting in this like empty white room and you're like, it's clean. I feel fairly empty, like inside as well. And I'm just kind of waiting. How can you enjoy that waiting? How can you find the pleasure? How can you find the gifts in it? Oh, this is a lesson. When we master this, divine feminines, when we come to imagine how powerful we're going to be, because nothing will phase us anymore. We will be absolutely free. Sovereignty is a big aspect of, it's a big gift of this journey, that you get to walk away a fully sovereign, free human. And I love this quote. I did share it in a Akashic channeled message a while back, but it's a quote from a Janis Joplin song, and it's freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose. And so when we've experienced this, like losing everything, getting rid of everything, like instead of staying in a relationship or staying in some sort of a dynamic job, whatever it is that's not healthy, that's actually disrespecting you, or taking you out of your power, or taking you off your mission, instead of staying in it because you have nothing else to replace it, when we master this lesson of being like, oh, that's not working for me, sending you off in love, goodbye. Like, when we've done that enough and we've learned and we've seen that when we do that, spirit comes in and fills the space for us, when we have that trust built so deeply and strongly, we are, I'm hearing like unfuckable with, like people cannot fuck with you. And excuse the language, but that's just what I'm hearing. It's like you are untouchable. Nothing can happen that's going to get you off your path. And that is a truly powerful being. That is a being that people with darker agendas are truly terrified of. They're really terrified of us becoming that. So if on these twin flame journeys, if we start to be those lights and we start to step into that, imagine the changes we're going to see in the world. And that's why it's such a bigger journey. It's such a bigger journey than just this romantic relationship. Wow. That was a powerful message. I really love that just came through. And then 3 of Pentacles in our heart space, we're wanting to work together. We are wanting to come into union and collaboration with our twin, with the world, with our people around us. We're ready to be the light in the material world. We want to walk out into the world and we want to offer kindness and love, unconditional love and light to the person at the store, to our neighbor, to the person you pass at the park, on the walk, It doesn't matter. But just reciprocity and giving and giving and giving, because we now know and we trust that when we give, when we clear out the space, when we empty it, Spirit fills it. So we get what we give tenfold. Yeah? So, wow. Oh, I love that. Oh my God, I loved that that message just came out. Okay. Really beautiful. I'm gonna end with a little bit of a oracle card. I love this deck for the union energy. So tell us, Spirit, about what is coming up in the union energy. Okay, love. Okay, devote. We've gotten this card quite a bit, and devotion is a big theme. And it's, again, we devote to ourselves, then we can devote to another. When we devote to ourselves to our mission, we get a lot in return from Spirit. My dog drinking his water. Gotta love him. Yeah, devotion. Devote yourself to this journey. Devote yourself to yourself, and your twin will follow. He or she will devote themselves to their mission, to you, to God, to themselves. Beautiful. Adorn the temple. I love this card. And this card really, I think we've kind of touched on some of these ideas, but it's like beautifying your life. When you shift your energy and you step into a higher frequency, things just naturally fall away and your desires change too. So what I mean by, you see, I work with people in coaching and life coaching, spiritual coaching. So what I notice happens a lot with my clients is, the halfway point of our working together, their appearance will change. They will literally start looking differently, like in their face, and then also in how they adorn their body. They get a haircut, they update their style, their wardrobe, they start presenting themselves a little bit differently. And it's that when the internal world changes, the outer world has to follow. So it's the same principle with these twin flames. When we change our inner world, when we do the inner work, then we come into union in the 3D, because the union has to follow. When we unify inside, it comes on. Yeah. So just connecting those dots for us. But so I feel like with this adorning the temple, it's preparing the space, it's adorning yourself, beautifying your life. Got cut off there, so apologies. I keep hearing it's about dating yourself. Give yourself all the love that you want to feel. So if you're craving romance right now, which is a theme of Pisces, especially Pisces Venus, give yourself that romance. Yeah, be in romantic love with yourself and creating that space. If you are coming into union, step into that energy. Give, even if it's scary, even if you're not sure what you're going to get back, even if you're moving slowly. Just adorning the temple, adorning the space, preparing the space. Beautiful energy. I also love this card. We have make mistakes. We have a beautiful couple dancing on this cliff, on the edge of the cliff. It's kind of reminiscent of the Fool card, right? So taking this journey, you're not going to be perfect. I feel like this is a big message. I mean, this is in the union energy, but I'm feeling this a lot for the divine masculines. They're wanting to get it right. They're wanting to get it perfect. They're afraid to jump off the cliff. They feel like they're alone, but Spirit's telling them you're not alone. Your feminine is right there with you, and I'm right there with you. So, this is a message for the feminine as well, right? There is like this hesitation and this fear to get it right. I feel like for the feminines, we really feel like, am I going to push him away again? Am I going to get into this energy again? And like, have we really done our work? Have we really healed? Well, guess what? Healing is not linear. So you are never fully healed. You are never complete. It is a journey. And when you gift yourself the ability to make mistakes, magic happens. That's just what I'm hearing. It's like, when you gift yourself that ability, you learn faster, because you don't beat yourself up around, oh, I messed up there. You go, oh, I messed up there. Cool. Okay, now I know, and I'm going to get right back out there. I'm going to get right back on the horse. Whereas in society a lot, I've heard this spoken about with growth mindset versus fixed mindset. If some of you guys are familiar with Carolyn Dweck, I believe, is the author of that book. But yeah, it's this idea of like, most of us are in fixed mindset where we're afraid to make mistakes, so we don't try anything new. So we don't put ourselves out there. We don't have a learner's mind because we're afraid to get it wrong. But when we step into growth mindset, we're actually able to learn much faster and much quicker. And there's a quick turnaround time for, maybe we fall flat on our face, maybe we have like a really difficult thing that happens, but then we like let it go pretty quick. We just let it go, and then we're right back on the horse. So this is a beautiful message for the twins right now in this stage of the journey where we're right at the precipice of coming into union, and there's some fear and anxiety around that. But no one's forcing you to get it right, and no one's forcing you to be perfect. Devote, adorn, and make mistakes. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful way to end it. If you've been with me this whole time, thank you so much. This was a longer one, but there was just a lot that wanted to come out. So I hope that the messages resonated. If they did, please like this video. Please comment. Please tell me how you're doing, where you're at in your journey. I love, love, love communicating with you. And if you'd like a personal reading, if you'd like to go a little bit deeper and get more specific on what's coming up in your journey, I offer that. So you can book through my website, or you can go ahead and email me directly, and that's all in the information box below. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you all very soon. Love you.